Hey, you lovely gentlemen out there listening to us. This is the Cologne Podcast. My name is Myke.
And my name is Ryan. And also, I would like to extend a hello and welcome to the ladies if you're watching.
Yes, please, ladies, listen. Listen up. We need to break up the sausage party over here.
Yeah, I'm not going to single you out like Myke just did, okay?
Today, we're talking about Oud Wood by Tom Ford.
Ooh.
To wood. Yeah, this one is going to be an interesting one. Okay. I'm excited to see what everybody thinks about it. If you're listening and you've had a chance to put your sniffer on Oud Wood, send us an email at thecolognepodcast@gmail.com.
What an incredible transition you just did.
It's magical, isn't it?
It was professional.
Hey, man, we're on episode 23. We got to step our game up, okay? None of this bullshit we were doing back in episode 1 through 3.
Or unless you checked out Aspen.
Yes. Oh, my Lord. I got to make up for that. Which, honestly, we didn't say it last episode.
Yeah.
But last episode was actually supposed to be Stetson by Cody.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of Wanted by Night. But because of all the tremendous amount of heartache I went through with Aspen, we're like, can we push this back a little bit? I need some time to recover. Oh.
I love that. I'm like, really? That's what was next? I don't even have a freaking clue, but there's a board behind you with all the names.
Okay, so if anyone's listening out there, I'm driving this ship, okay? Ryan is first matey.
Barely.
But you're listening to Captain Myke right now, okay?
Yeah.
Speaking of listening to me, let's listen to Lady Venganza off of... Fragrantica, because she has something to say about Oud Wood.
I'm all ears for this one.
She said, this smells like Glade Cashmere Woods air spray with an overdose of a cross between stale flat Fanta grape soda and grape children's Motrin.
Good God.
Hard pass, period.
Damn.
Yeah, so Lady Venganza... which her little avatar is, you remember Cynthia, the Angelica's Barbie on Rugrats? It's her face, but it's on a lipstick. It's pretty clever.
Wow.
Way to go, Lady Venganza.
That's hilarious.
All right. Well, did we say hi to Ohio yet?
We have not.
Hey, Ohio.
Hi.
What's up? Thanks for listening. We really appreciate you guys out there.
Seriously, I'm shocked by the East Coast, man, and also Ohio's been big on us too, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of love out there.
Is it our voices? Just let us know. Is it the country thing? We sound country to us. I don't know.
Yeah, we probably sound more country to them than we sound to us, because when I hear some people out here, they're like, hey, how are y'all doing today, huh? I heard y'all were cooking some winers out there.
That's sadly pretty accurate.
Yep. On that note, let's head on to our one-night stand review of Azzaro's Wanted by Night.
Yeah. One-night stand review.
Man, I was a fan of this, man. I really was.
Yeah, you, after the show, we normally do a spray or two on the wrist just to see how it's going to cooperate with our skin, and then we spray on a tester. But afterwards, Ryan takes his shirt off, and he's like, can I hit about 13 or 14 sprays under both of my nipples? And I was like, hey, man. He said, I want to be wanted. Tonight.
So I put my arms out, just spread them out like a doctor's about to examine me.
And I just go to town squirting everywhere.
I just rotate like I'm in one of those spray beds or something.
That's it. Yeah. I cover him like he's getting a spray tan.
It is a really good smell. I think we hit it right on the nose. It's what Paco Rabanne's 1 million, what we wanted it to smell like.
Yeah.
And this is it.
I think, honestly, and you'll have to go back to that episode, there are probably some batches of 1 million that probably smell like Wanted by Night.
Yeah.
It seems like they're pretty close. At least the EDP we were smelling
They were really
close.
They were super close.
So it definitely has that vibe. If you've got a good batch of 1 million, you're probably not missing much. But if you don't have either one of those, don't take the gamble on what could be in the box of Paco Rabanne's 1 million.
Yeah.
Instead, spend $35 online, get you 100 mil of Wanted by Night by Azzaro.
It was really good. I'm probably going to end up getting it for $35. That was a really good smell. And like I said, it's what we wanted.
Yeah.
It's what we were missing. And it smells like that.
Very few times we'll come into something to where I'm like, guys, it's a blind buy.
Yeah.
But I can almost guarantee you, anybody that's listening, if you put pull the $35 trigger on that bad boy, you're not going to be disappointed if you like sweet, spicy fragrances.
And it is more sweet than it is spicy, but it's got enough spice, which is what, again, that's what 1 million should have had.
Right.
So
but
it's a buy.
when you're wearing this thing, after a couple of hours, that sweetness simmers down a little bit, and it does go on the spicy side. So,
and I keep saying it, and if there's anybody out there that can figure out what I'm smelling that makes me think this, let me know at the Cologne Podcast at gmail.com. But seriously, it's like a little bit of a hay smell in the background. I don't know what ingredient it is, but it reminds me of hay. And when it dries down, that's what I smell. And I love those smells.
Yeah. I originally said vetiver, but every fragrance you've mentioned hay in does not have vetiver in it.
That's true too. So I don't know what the hell's in here.
That being said, I don't really know what vetiver is either. So I'm just guessing because I saw a picture that said this is vetiver and it looked like hay.
Yeah, where somebody goes, hey, this is what you like. Here it is, vetiver.
Look, it looks like hay. Real scientific at the Cologne Podcast, I promise.
Yeah, so there you go. One night stand review of Azzaro's Wanted by Night.
All right, today, Ryan, we're looking at Tom Ford's Oud Wood.
Okay, that sounds good.
Sounds good, wood.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm ready.
Give you a little spritz.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do this side here. I'll probably just do one because I know this one is expensive.
It is on the expensive side.
So, Mike, he told you the truth. We have smelled this before. And when I smelled it the first time, I was like, man, this is a pretty badass smell. I'm going to sound like an imbecile describing anything about it. But what we kind of tend to agree about, especially this Tom Ford stuff, it's not necessarily like, this is going to be hard to describe, but it's not necessarily like a fragrance like you're going out to like smell like peppermints or some bullshit.
Right.
It's like just a unique, like this one's earthy to me kind of smell. It's like a memory.
Yeah. It straight up reminds me if you go into like Kirkland's at Christmas time.
Yeah, this thing
you know what I
is-
mean? It's got like a pine, potpourri, spice.
Yeah. On the card, I get the spice. On the skin, I don't. But man, on the skin, it is such a masculine, earthy smell. And I freaking love it.
I'm probably guessing that a lot of ladies are going to fall right in line with what Lady Venganza said.
Yeah, I can
in
see
that this is not going to be a hit maker with the feminine type.
Yeah. Well, one thing is it's been trending pretty good.
Yeah,
And this is part of his, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is part of his like private blend, correct?
sure.
So a 50 ml of this is about $250.
Yeah, it's pricey.
So we will categorize this pretty much niche fragrance. Right?
Yeah, compared to 100 ml of Wanted by Night, which was $35. So half the amount for 8 times the price.
Wow. And it's definitely trending. So I guess this has been part of his private blend since about 2010, but it's like a rocket ship climbing.
Yeah, it's a steady climb. And here's what I would say. I would say this is one of the ones that you're not going to initially get a lot of love from the ladies.
Yeah.
But I would say if you're in a relationship with someone
Yeah.
and you slowly start wearing this and they get acclimated to it, I bet this is something that gets a little steamy.
I agree. It's something to it, man.
It's masculine, but there are those feminine notes in there that feel good because I'm pretty sure this is unisex.
I could see that.
A lot of Tom Ford is.
Man, I love that smell, man. That
Yeah.
is really cool. Man, again, I feel like all of our podcasts, the past like 6 episodes have been like, this is great. Maybe we're just on a good streak here.
Hey, well, Aspen covers everything.
Aspen, and we were disappointed in 1 million, but
Yeah.
these last ones have been really good. This
And
one
I'm
is-
okay with that.
Other than the Dior Home Intense and really the Raja Dove Elysium, this one I would say more than either one of those. This is a more, even though it's soft a little bit, it's more masculine than those.
You know what it reminds me of? Pine Sol.
No, not me, but go ahead. I want to hear your view on that.
Well, okay, my grandmother always cleaned with Pine Sol.
Yeah,
I love that smell.
it is a good smell.
I'm not saying this is a one-to-one
Yeah, I know,
liquid
yeah.
Pine Sol.
People are going out buying Pine Sol
I'm not
bottles.
saying micro perfumes put Pine Sol in this atomizer and sent it to me. But the qualities of Pine Sol that I really grew up enjoying, these scent memories we talk about.
Yeah.
And when I smell this and I close my eyes, I can picture me young, my grandmother mopping the floor, and that clean pine smell, that warm sort of motherly love on the bottom note of this. It makes me happy.
Yeah. Man, it's good. I like it.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is more popular on the mature side of things.
I can get with that too. I do feel like, who do you feel like can get away with wearing this? I think you got to be dressed pretty good for this one.
Sure. I think this is nice shirt, maybe a sports coat, blazer sort of situation.
Yeah.
Guy, salt and pepper, age 45, gets out of a Lincoln, and he's wearing Tom Ford's Oud Wood.
So Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
You just described a Matthew McConaughey.
Only Matthew
commercial.
McConaughey doesn't have a single gray hair on his head.
Oh, man. And he is a Texas treasure over
He
here,
is.
just so you guys know.
Man, I recently read his Green Lights book. Have you ever read that?
I have not.
It's very interesting.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of things about Matthew McConaughey that make him so down to earth and likable.
Yeah. Well,
And
he's from our neck of the woods. That's how all of us are here.
Yeah, he's from Longview, right up the road.
Yeah.
And he still pops in. And it was probably 5 or 6 months ago, maybe, that he was back in Longview. And the guy suffered through hours of signing signatures and telling stories and listening.
Yeah.
Somebody who does that, you got to tip your hat to him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what he was doing, I remember, because he was gathering mass at the time, and he was driving all over Texas, but then he came through here.
Yeah.
And he was delivering mass, but then he also was getting carry-out food to go and stuff to deliver to all the nurses and doctors in the area and stuff.
Right.
He's a legend out here in our area.
He's legit, dude. I mean, when we have to stop and give, signatures and stuff like that, that's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I mean, we can't get from the women's fragrances to the men's fragrances without getting stopped. And somebody going, "Hey, what are you doing? Give that back."
Hey, weren't y'all in here yesterday for samples?
Yeah, that's right.
I digress. Back to the Tom Ford scent. I feel like this would be something that Matthew McConaughey would wear.
Hell yeah.
You got to be pretty cool to wear this. I do love it. It is amazing.
I do see that Matthew McConaughey guy kind of getting out.
Yeah.
Wearing this kind of thing. It is like ultra manly, but it's not overwhelmingly musk.
It's not. And man, you do on the card. So I would imagine if you put a little bit of this on your clothes, also on your skin, but on the card, which would represent your clothes, would be more of the pepper that I'm smelling.
Sure.
And it layers so well with this, man.
Yeah, it's good.
That
Tom
is tough.
Ford, man, he is an interesting creature.
He really is, man.
We were talking before, and you were saying, hey, this may be something to mention on the podcast because this guy's worth $500 million.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
already?
Yeah.
Damn.
I've listened to a few interviews for him, and for somebody worth an amount of money that is more than what God has, pretty much, you know, he, in an interview, was just talking about right after he had left Gucci, right before he really started Tom Ford and started the movies and all that stuff, he kind of hit this point where he thought he was going to retire.
Yeah.
And he was kind of on his own, on his ranch, messing with his horses and all that other stuff. And he just talked about being at such a low point in his life when financially he had everything.
Yeah.
He had the multiple houses and all that. And he basically was saying on this interview, even though his brands contribute to a very materialistic side of society, he realized it's absolutely nothing without connecting with people.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important to kind of what we're doing here with this podcast and how community and having a group of people that you can relate to and share experiences with, much like our friendship, and that it's so much fun. When we go out together and smell fragrances and talk about them all day like nerds, I love it.
Yeah, it is fun.
And likewise, we want to hear from you guys. Hit us an email, thecolonepodcast@gmail.com. We want to know what you guys are up to and what scents you're getting stoked on.
Yeah, and you all are on this journey with us. This is not stuff we really know about. Now, there are things we've smelled here and there and we can kind of talk about, yes. But we really are exploring all these scents and they're new to us, and that's why it's so much fun.
Right.
So if there's things that you think we should be looking at, hit us up. We don't care, if it's a $12 Aspen cologne.
Yeah, we do care about that one. Throw that shit in the garbage.
But we really don't care what it is, up to whatever. We will find a sample of it if we can, and we'll try to bring it on the show and really highlight it and see what we think about it, because we're not like the typical people that are doing reviews of this they know everything about it. We'll tell you all the top, middle, base notes and how they squeeze the juice out of lemons.
Right.
So we don't do that.
There's nothing scientific about what we're doing here.
Yeah.
This is all based on, going, smells like pine sol to me. And of course, Ryan's like, no way does this smell like pine sol. But that's it. It's all about the journey and enjoying. And occasionally we're going to run across scents like Wanted by Night, where we go, guys, spray that on, take that out on a date with you. You're probably going to get lucky on that one. This one, if you look like Matthew McConaughey, you don't really need any luck, on sealing the deal. But a little bit of Oud Wood might make you smell a little fancier.
Am I smelling? I know there's not really any leather in here, but does it have a little bit of a leather vibe to it on top of the woody kind of feel, or am I just imagining it?
I think if you think about leather and then smell it, you can probably vibe that.
Yeah. It's still earthy, and this is what I liked about Hashavat by Nishani. When it dried down, this is the best way I can explain this to people, but it's probably going to be a terrible description. But it smells like, not dirt, but like soil, like a little dampness to it and a little sweet to it. And it's it's weird that to me in my brain, that kind of equates kind of masculinity to it to me.
Sure, yeah. There's something about working outside that makes you feel a little manly.
Yeah.
Considering we sit behind a desk and look at computers all day, you know what I mean?
Well, that's as manly as it comes. Smelling the plastics and electronics.
Yeah.
But no, for real, I mean, it really is a masculine smell to me, and it's such a soft, sweet smell, but it is masculine. It's
but if a lady was wearing this around me, I would be intrigued.
I would definitely be popping some questions.
Yeah.
What's your name? Where are you from?
Yeah.
If I wasn't married,
right.
Well, for real, I would ask probably, what are you wearing? Because this does smell good.
I'm curious, and you guys can drop us a line and tell us, give us your best story of, oops, I shouldn't have said that. But you think it's weird if you smell a lady's wearing like a really intriguing fragrance? You think it's weird to go, wow, you smell amazing. What are you wearing?
Can I give my answer on that?
No.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So many moons ago, when I worked in retail.
Oh, yikes.
But I would, there'd be some times where a woman would walk by and they had a really strong smell that like lingered. And if it smelled really good, I'd be like, good God, what is that? I got to know.
Yeah.
And I would just say, hey, excuse me, ma'am, I'm so sorry to bother you, but what are you wearing? Because that is a really good smell. I would just keep it kind of simple like that. I don't feel like that's like stalkerish or anything.
Sure.
I'm being very polite and almost apologetic for even asking.
Yeah, don't be a creep.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you didn't hear on episode 16, but I did a pretty great bit about a creepy dude asking a coworker about what he was wearing.
Oh my God, we did lose that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
God damn it, Todd.
I know.
Dude, Todd.
I swear to God.
Dude, it must be medical marijuana that he's got, because it's not even legal here.
It's the good shit. It's got to be.
Good God. I can't believe we lost that episode.
I know. We missed out on that. And so did you as the listener. I'm sorry. Because that might have been my single best impersonation of a weirdo, other than what I am just day to day.
It wasn't much different.
Yeah. I just use my voice. But I would always ask coworkers, but they were most of the time guys. And I would just be like, I worked with a dude named Jamie. That's how I heard about Dolce & Gabbana. I've kind of mentioned it before. He worked as like one of those guys who updates the inspections on fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
I think. I'm probably oversimplifying his job. But he did that, and then we both worked at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And he would always come in smelling incredible.
Yeah.
And the dude looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger, And so he'd come in smelling great, looking great. And I was just like, man, what are you wearing? Because I'm like, I'm sure this guy is doing just fine, Yeah. And he was like, Dolce & Gabbana. He would say it like that.
So he was a Latin man.
No, he would just say it like that because I think it's fun to say, And I was like, oh, well, I guess I better check out Dolce & Gabbana. And I did, and I bought it for 10 years.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so Ryan, tell me right now, are you going to break into that porcelain piggy bank you have with $250 in it? And are you going to buy Tom Ford's Oud Wood? Or are you going to skip it, sample it? What are you going to do?
It's probably going to be like one of my Raja Dove things that I want to get, but it is for me, it's too pricey. I can't just buy it now, but I would love to save up and get it.
Yeah.
For the time being, I probably would buy a little small decant of it or something.
Yeah.
But I really do love it. When we smelled it the first time, I loved it, and I'm loving it more now. It is definitely a very sophisticated scent, and I'm head over heels for it for real. I'll buy it, but it's going to take some time to save for it.
Yeah. But I could see like having, if you had 5-10 mil of this is a 5 mil sample.
Yeah.
Occasionally, when you get really dressed up, you actually trim your beard and get a haircut.
Take a shower.
Yes.
Put clothes on.
Actual clothes on, not this dumpy shit we're wearing now. But whenever you get kind of dressed up and cleaned up, it's amazing what an interesting fragrance like this will kind of add to the vibe you put out.
Oh, dude, it's elevating you like 50 points of charisma.
Yeah, I would almost say if you're wanting to dress down a little bit, but still have that sophisticated vibe, throw on a more intriguing fragrance.
Yeah, I agree. This is it too.
This is like one of those ones, if you're like, I'm going to wear a t-shirt with a blazer over it or something like that, then jam something like this. And now you're a cut above the rest,
Popping collars.
Boom. And spending dollars, baby. All right. That's our skip it, sample it, or buy it. Ryan says, I'm going to get me a sample of it. And you know what I did? I already got me a 5 mil sample.
I might have to jump on one of those, man, because it would definitely be every once in a while, throw it on and feel like a baller.
Yep. All right. What we've got up next is one of the most talked about designer fragrances probably ever made.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the one you want to be wearing.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Any more hints you want to throw out there?
I'm not going to do any more.
Not one more?
Not one more.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Hey, again, thank you guys for listening to our podcast. We really have been seriously enjoying it.
This is like the highlight of our week.
Seriously, it is. And we are like obsessive looking at our analytics and going, I can't believe all these people are listening to us over here. So,
we watch every listen come through and we celebrate.
Swear to God, we do.
So every time you guys listen, you put a smile on our face.
Seriously.
And we honestly appreciate it more than you'll ever know. We're a couple of hick nobodies out in the piney woods, and you guys are making us feel special.
For real. And, if you want to buy me a coffee, him a coffee.
Yes, you can buy us a coffee. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/Cologne podcast and drop us a nice line. We'd love to shout you out, and thank you for your generosity.
All right, spray it up.
Spray it up, y'all.